Good day everyone, my name is Jeline Glaze and Son, and I am the first reporter of Group 4. Our topic is all about climate change and environmental awareness. First, let's discuss what is climate change. Climate change refers to the long-term alteration of temperature and typical weather patterns in a specific location or the planet as a whole. It involves changes in Earth's climate system caused by various factors including human activities and natural processes. Climate change is characterized by an increase in global average temperature, which leads to a wide range of effects in the environment, ecosystems, and human societies. The example of climate change that relates to agriculture is the significant impact of heat stress on agricultural systems. Heat stress can have adverse effects on crops and livestock. For instance, dairy cows are particularly sensitive to heat stress, which can affect their appetite and milk production. In 2010, heat stress was estimated to have lowered annual U.S. dairy production by $1.2 billion. Additionally, heavy rainfalls resulting from climate change can lead to increased soil erosion, posing a threat to a sustainable crop production. How about environmental awareness? What is environmental awareness? Environmental awareness refers to having an understanding of the environment, recognizing the impacts of human behaviors on it, and acknowledging the importance of its protection. It involves being conscious of how our actions affect the natural world and making responsible decisions to preserve and sustain it. Example of environmental awareness is the implementation of sustainable farming practices. Farmers who are environmentally aware strive to minimize the negative impacts of their agricultural activities on the environment. They may adopt practices such as organic farming, agroforestry, crop rotation, and integrated pest management to reduce the use of pesticides, conserve soil quality, protect biodiversity, and promote sustainable land management. By practicing environmental awareness in agriculture, farmers contribute to the preservation of ecosystems, the reduction of pollution, and the long-term sustainability of agricultural systems. Climate change and environmental awareness are closely related and interconnected. Here's how they are connected. First, climate change awareness. Climate change has gained significant attention globally, leading to increased awareness among individuals, communities, and organizations. People are becoming more informed about the causes, impacts, and potential solutions to climate change. This awareness helps drive action and promotes environmental consciousness. Second, understanding the causes and impacts. Environmental awareness plays a crucial role in understanding the causes and impacts of climate change. By being aware of human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial emissions, individuals can recognize their contribution to climate change. This understanding motivates them to take actions to mitigate and adapt to its effects. Third, sustainable practices. Environmental awareness encourages the adoption of sustainable practices to combat climate change. People who are environmentally aware are more likely to engage in activities that reduce greenhouse gas emissions, conserve resources, and promote sustainable lifestyles. This can include actions like reducing energy consumption, using renewable energy sources, adopting eco-friendly transportation, and supporting sustainable agriculture. Fourth, advocacy and policy influence. Environmental awareness empowers individuals to become advocates for climate change action. People who are aware of the environmental consequences of climate change are more likely to engage in activism, support policies that address climate change, and promote sustainable practices at the community and global levels. This collective action can drive meaningful change and influence policy decisions. Last, education and outreach. Environmental awareness initiatives often include educational programs and outreach efforts to inform and engage the public about climate change. These initiatives aim to increase knowledge, promote behavioral change, and inspire individuals to take action to mitigate climate change. By raising awareness and educating people about climate change, environmental awareness initiatives contribute to building a more sustainable and resilient future. In summary, climate change and environmental awareness are interconnected as increased awareness of climate change leads to a better understanding of its causes and impacts. This understanding in turn promotes the adoption of sustainable practices, advocacy for climate action and education, and outreach efforts to combat climate change.
Hi everyone, I am Jamaica Diala Gutierrez. My topic was all about adverse effects of climate change to the environment and society. Climate change has several adverse effects of both the environment and society. One major impact is the rise in global temperatures, which leads to melting ice caps and rising sea levels. This can result in the loss of coastal habitats, increased flooding, and the displacement of communities living in low-lying areas. In terms of society, climate change can have significant social and economic impacts. It can existing social inequalities, as marginalized communities are often the most vulnerable to the effects of climate change. The increased frequency of extreme weather events can also lead to the loss of livelihoods, homes, and infrastructure, causing economic instability and social unrest. The adverse effects of climate change are far-reaching and affect both the environment and society. It is crucial for us to take action to mitigate these impacts and work towards a more sustainable future. So as you can see, there are the four environmental challenges. First is rising sea levels. As global temperatures increase, glaciers and ice caps melt, causing an increase in the volume of water in the oceans. This leads to a rise in sea levels which can have significant consequences for coastal areas. This can lead to the displacement of communities living in low-lying areas and the loss of coastal habitats. Next is disruption to ecosystems. Climate change can disrupt these ecosystems by altering temperature and precipitation patterns, causing shift in habitats and the timing of natural events such as migration and flowering. This can lead to imbalances in species populations, the spread of invasive species, and the loss of biodiversity. Next is threats to biodiversity. Many species have specific temperature and climate requirements for survival, and changes in these conditions can threaten their existence. Some species may struggle to adapt or find suitable alternative habitats, leading to population decline or extinction. This loss of biodiversity can have cascading effects of ecosystems and disrupt essential ecological processes. The last one is impacts on agriculture. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns can affect crop growth and productivity. Increased temperatures can lead to heat stress in plants, while shifts in rainfall patterns can result in droughts or excessive rainfall, both of which can negatively impact crop yields. These changes in agricultural productivity can have significant consequences for food security and economic stability, particularly in regions that rely heavily on agriculture. The adverse effects of climate change to the society has far-reaching, affecting various aspects of our lives. It also poses a threat to public health, as rising temperatures contribute to the spread of diseases and worsen air pollution. The burning of fossil fuels for energy, transportation, and industry releases excessive carbon dioxide, contributing to climate change. Certainly, the burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas for energy, transportation, and industrial purposes releases a large amount of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. When fossil fuels are burned, the carbon that has been stored in them for millions of years is released as carbon dioxide. This extra carbon dioxide, along with other greenhouse gases, forms a thick layer in the atmosphere that prevents heat from escaping into space. So, as a result, the Earth temperature increases. It, lead, it leads to a phenomenon known as climate change. A key impact is rising sea levels, affecting coastal areas and islands. It increased global temperatures, melt ice caps, and glaciers. It lead to a higher sea levels. This poses threats to communities, ecosystems, and coastal infrastructure, resulting in heightened flooding and erosion risk. So, as you can see, global warming is the primary cause of current sea level rise for several reasons. Firstly, as the Earth atmosphere warms, it leads to the melting of glaciers and ice caps in polar regions. This melting ice adds more water to the oceans, causing them to expand and resulting in high sea levels. Second is global warming also contributes to the thermal expansion of seawater. As the temperature of the oceans increases, the water molecules becomes less dense and take up more space, leading to a rise in sea levels. So these two factors, melting ice and thermal expansion, are the main drivers of the current sea level rise that we are experiencing.
Good day, everyone. I am Rosalita Niscal, and I will going to report the disruption to ecosystem. Disruption can cause individual species to disappear permanently, leading to a decrease in biodiversity and life variety. Karon sa pagkakaroon ng atong ecosystem kay nagkaanam-anam na siya og kaubos. Naghanag mga puno nga putol tungod sa mga tao nga walay disiplina o not responsible of their doing. Organization play a crucial role in the ecosystem as removal of one species affects other species in the food chain. Pag wala ng isa ka species, syempre dili na mabuo ang isa ka food chain. And then, ecosystem disruption, all this happening, high rates of end, or daghan nga namatay nga mga endangered species like Philippine eagles nga panagsara jud kay nato sila makita karon tungod kay naay mga hunter nga gusto silang patayon ug naapoy uban na gusto nila nga imong pet. Natural disruption like floods and wildfires. Ecological disruption, also known as ecological imbalance, causes environmental stress and significantly impacts the ecosystem, causing issues like wildfire, floods, volcanic eruption, and habitat destruction. So karon no po makita mo gyud nato sa ato ang lugar nga daghan kaayo nga mga floods nga nahitabo like sa Davao sa lain nga area kay tungod ang pud sa mga tao like magpataka lang pud og labi ug basura. So kita mo balik ra gyapon ang atong binuhatan nga mali. So wildfires kani pod ang kaning sa wildfires pwede siya sa starts with a natural occurrence, lightning strike. Pwede po siya human-made spark. Kaning human-made spark, pwede mga tinuyuan, basing nagsunog siya dito or naglabay og mga like flammable. So, ang kuan ecosystem madamay so dako siya og damage especially sa mga endangered species nga nabuhi or nagpuyo dito permanently. Volcanic eruption. What is volcanic eruption? So, kabalo naman jud ta kung unsa ni siya, then there are further effects in the environment are the deterioration of water quality. So no maapektuhan jud ang tubig, quality sa tubig nato pag once nga ang bulkan kay mubuto na. Fewer periods of rain. So pag mabuto na ang bulkan, syempre wala na jud kay tayo makita nga mag-ulan kay tungod sa sulfuric acid nga naglapas. And then crop damage. So kani jud ang pinaka number 1 nga issue pagka na volcanic eruption nga mahitabo, maapektuhan jud ang mga crops, like matabunan sa mga ashes nga gikan sa ilalim sa bulkan, and then also the destruction of vegetation. So syempre dili jud ta maka tanom ani kay syempre ang daot ani kay dili lang sa air kundi apil na pod siya sa land. During volcanic eruption and their immediate aftermath, increased respiratory system morbidity have been observed, as well as mortality among those affected by volcanic eruption. So, kung maapektuhan ang mga crop damages, syempre maapektuhan pod ang mga tao, and especially those animals nga napuyo daplin anang bulkan, syempre madamay pod sila, and then naay kasagaran nga mga matay. Those affected by volcanic eruption, massive amount of damage. So massive, it means dako jud siya og damage, like ang sa ibabaw sa to ang air ma-pollute, like dili na siya maklaro, mura na siya og dag-o mang color tungod sa ash nga nag-release gikan sa bulkan. Lava that flows out of the volcano erupts extremely high temperature, destroying everything. So destroy everything syempre kay tanan man jud siya maapektuhan basta ang bulkan na jud siya mubuto. So habitat destruction. Ang kaning habitat destruction, it is all about the process by which a natural habitat becomes incapable of supporting its native species, reducing biodiversity, leading causes of biodiversity loss. Syempre kanino ang number 1 jud ni kay ang pagputol og kahoy, habitat destruction. So pag ma-distract na ang atong ecosystem, na ay biodiversity loss nga mahitabo. Syempre kay wala na may kahoy nga nagpugong sa baha, wala na may mga kahoy nga nagpugong ay kahoy nga pwede matanan sa mga animals, like mga Philippine eagles and etc. So syempre maapektuhan sila, and then ang ilang species pod mag-aanam siya og kagamay. So mao na gitawag na ay endangered species tungod lang pod sa mga tao nga mga pabaya. So naay mga causes pod siya nga nung naay habitat destruction, dili lang pod siya sa mga tao, kundi ang napod siya naay siya mga physical nga panghitabo, like hurricane. So dili man jud nato ni sala no kay kuan naman ni siya sa environmental nga rason nga nung naay habitat destruction. Other storms destroy, like bagyo. Syempre pag kusog kayo nga bagyo, ang mga trees nga katong mga digo na, syempre kay naadyo kasagaran nga ma-damage siya, maupaw din, and then madako siya og damage, especially sa mga area nga like bukid siya, maupaw siya tanan din. Those coastal habitats, some challenges are pollution from activities.
Good day everyone, I am Jane El Pasal from Group 4. My assigned topic was all about the threats of biodiversity. So we have 7 threats of biodiversity. First, let us discuss about the human population. The sheer size of the human population intensifies the impact of other threats. Increased resource consumption, pollution, and habitat alteration are often linked to the population growth. Second, overhunting. Human activities such as overfishing, hunting, and logging of species can lead the result in the depletion of populations and in some cases, the extinction of species. Third, we have habitat loss. As human populations expand, there is an increased demand for land for agriculture, urbanization, and infrastructure development. This leads to the destruction and fragmentation of natural habitats, resulting in the loss of biodiversity. Fourth, we have the invasion of non-native species. Global trade and travel facilitate the introduction of non-native species to new environments. Invasive species can outcompete or prey on native species, leading to the population declines and ecosystem disruptions. Fifth, we have pollution. Industrial activities, urbanization, and improper waste disposal contribute to the various forms of pollution, including air, water, and soil pollution. Sixth, we have climate change. Human-induced climate change, primarily due to the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and other activities. This disrupt ecosystem and poses challenges for species adapted to specific climatic conditions. Lastly, we have rapid global warming. It refers to the accelerated increase in Earth's average surface temperature, primarily due to the human activities such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial processes. Next, we have the impacts on agriculture. We have altered growing conditions. Changes in temperature and precipitation patterns affect crop growth cycles and agricultural productivity. Second, water scarcity. Increased droughts or erratic rainfall patterns leads to water shortage, affecting irrigation and crop yields. Third, pests and diseases. Warmer temperature and altered climate create favorable conditions for new pests and diseases and threatening crops. 4. Extreme weather events like floods, storms, and heat waves damage crop, disrupt harvest, and result in crop failure. 5. Shifts in crop suitability. Changing climates force farmers to adapt to new conditions, impacting traditional crop choices and viability in certain regions.
A pleasant morning to everyone. By the way, I am Mary Grace Ladjo, a presenter from Group 4. What comes into your mind when you heard the word environmental awareness? Did you know that environmental awareness refers to the understanding and recognition of environmental issues, concerns, and the overall state of the planet? It involves being conscious of the impact of human activities on the environment, including issues such as pollution, deforestation, climate change, and biodiversity loss. Environmental awareness encourages individuals to adopt sustainable practices, make informed choices, and support initiatives that aim to protect and preserve the environment for the well-being of current and future generations. Examples of environmentalism includes advocating for renewable energy sources, supporting conservation efforts, promoting sustainable practices, participating in tree planting initiatives, and raising awareness about pollution and climate change. Individuals, organizations, and governments can contribute to environmentalism through various actions to protect and preserve the environment. Awareness of the environment is crucial because it fosters understanding of the impact human activities have on the planet. It promotes a sense of responsibility for sustainable living, encourages conservation efforts, and helps address environmental challenges like climate change, pollution, and loss of biodiversity. Increased awareness also empowers individuals and communities to make informed choices that contribute to the well-being of the Earth and future generation.
Good day everyone, my name is Terence Kevin Akinway and I'm going to discuss about disaster preparedness in the face of natural disasters. First, we have safety and survival. On this part, we need to get our medkits and also evacuation plans for being prepared in any disaster would come. And this also helps to minimize the damage and risk for being injured. And that's all. And next, we have reduced damage. In this part, remind us to build or repair our houses, building for any kind of disaster would come, like floods, earthquakes, and many more. Next is community resilience. In this topic, this is one of the most important things we need to apply is having communication among the authorities and enhance the cooperation in every group of our government. Next is financial protection. If we are being prepared, it can help to mitigate financial losses and also help individuals to recover, minimizing long-term economic impacts. Next, we have psychological impact. For being prepared psychologically by having a knowledge about potential disasters and also having plans to reduce the fear, anxiety, and crisis. So we need anxiety during the crisis. We need to psychologically prepare.
Good morning, sir. I am Eliza Mies Castillo from Group 4. My assigned topic was environmental conservation. Adequate disaster preparedness can help protect the environment. Measures like proper waste disposal, safeguarding natural habitats, and preventing hazardous material spills minimize the environmental impact of disasters. So, through environmental conservation, this helps us to become more prepared, especially when there is high risk disaster or any calamities occurs, and to lessen the hazardous effects of those calamities. Then, these are the best practices to minimize and ensure the safety of our environment that becomes more productive and make our habitat in good health. As a youth or as a student, I can help to minimize this kind of disaster by joining organization and participate like tree planting and pulot basura. And remember that clean is green makes our Mother Earth win. That's all.
So good day everyone, my name is Christine Rivera. So today I'm going to discuss the critical importance of conserving, reserving, and to address the impacts on our planet. So my report focuses on two key areas: sustaining habitability and mitigating climate risk. So sustaining habitability, protecting ecosystems and biodiversity ensures a habitable planet for current and future generations, safeguarding essential resources like clean air, water, and fertile soil. So by protecting ecosystems and biodiversity, we are essentially ensuring a habitable planet for both current and future generations. This conservation effort is crucial as it safeguards essential resources like clean air, water, and fertile soil. Without this, our ability to thrive and survive on this planet diminishes significantly. So next, mitigating climate risk. Preserving natural habitats and reducing deforestation helps mitigate climate change by absorbing carbon dioxide, stabilizing temperatures, and minimizing the severity of extreme weather events like floods and droughts. So, mitigating climate risk is imperative in today's context. Preserving natural habitats and reducing deforestation play a pivotal role in mitigating climate change. So this action contributes to absorbing carbon dioxide, thereby stabilizing temperatures. Additionally, they help minimize the severity of extreme weather events such as floods and droughts, which have been increasingly devastating due to climate change. In conclusion, conserving and reserving ecosystems are not just environmental concerns, but essential steps in ensuring a sustainable future for humanity. Addressing this impasse is crucial for the well-being of our planet and all its inhabitants. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Heidi Baladan Fernandez. Economic stability, conservation, foster sustainable industries like ecotourism and renewable energy, creating jobs and economic opportunities while reducing reliance on unsustainable resources. Health and well-being. A healthier environment means better public health by reducing pollution-related diseases and ensuring access to clean food and water, enhancing overall well-being of human, animals, and those living things in the world. Social equity. Environmental preservation promotes equity by protecting vulnerable communities disproportionately affected by climate change, addressing environmental justice issues, and ensuring fair access to resources for all. And global cooperation, which conservation efforts encourage international collaboration, fostering partnerships to tackle climate change collectively and creating a more resilient and interconnected global community. And the last is climate change and society. Climate change is causing significant societal impacts, include the increased temperatures, health risk, agricultural disruptions, water scarcity, economic upheavals, migration challenges, social tensions, biodiversity decline, and coastal vulnerabilities. These impacts highlight the urgent need for anyone unified action to mitigate climate change and protecting societies worldwide, so necessitating costly measures to safeguard communities and infrastructure.
So, hi everyone. By the way, I am Luke Davidi Batukan Orias, and now let's talk about the disadvantage of climate changes on. So, first, we have cost. Depending on the level of preparedness you aim for, it might involve investing in emergency supplies, equipment, or insurance. This can incur costs that might be a burden for some individuals or families. So, for the cost, of course, preparing for climate changes costs a lot depending on what level preparedness we aim for. For example, if it gets drier, and let's relate to agriculture. If it gets drier, farmers should invest in their irrigation. But not all farmers could afford it, as it may cost too much for them. And for the second, maintenance. Emergency supplies need to be regularly checked and replaced if they expire. For instance, can be time consuming and sometimes costly. So for the maintenance, we need to check for our emergency supplies and things that need to be regularly checked, as it could be already expired or broken. Food and medical supplies should be ready always when we needed. So for the third is false sense of security. Sometimes people who feel overly prepared might become complacent or less responsive in the face of an actual disaster. They may assume that having supplies means they're fully protected, neglecting other critical aspects like evacuation plans or community support. So, for the false sense of security, people think that when they are well prepared in terms of food and medical supplies, it means that they are safe when something tragic will happen. But sometimes people tend to forget to also learn what to do when something tragic happens. And so for the next is storage space. Emergency supplies, especially for long-term readiness, can take up a significant amount of space. Finding enough storage room, especially in urban areas or small living space, can be challenging. So for the storage space, finding space for a storage can be challenging, as food, medical supplies, and such take up space, and they have their own way of how to keep them. And the next is a logical impact. Constantly being prepared for disaster can lead to heightened anxiety or stress for some individuals. Can be particularly true if they are constantly worried about potential disaster. So, psychological impact. It affects people's mental health, as preparing for a disaster could be hard for them, making them anxious and stressed about it. And the next is social isolation. So, Social isolation. If one is overly focused on preparedness, it might lead to isolation from social activities or communities, as they might prioritize preparedness over social engagement. So, social isolation, preparing for disaster would have some people be scared of attending their social life, as they may be afraid that that moment when they are not ready, the disaster would happen. And that's all. For the next page is we have a 10 questions for you guys. And that's all. Thank you.